Right, hi guys, welcome back to Shed. How are we all doing? Haven't done a vlog for a while. I'll be perfectly honest, after my experience with Dorset Mammal, with legal issues and people, getting into my personal life, I lost a lot of interest in doing the vlogs. I've tried to come back when I was allowed to with this vlog, and I just can't find myself wanting to put the drive and effort into the channel that I did on the last, on the Dorset Mammal. Dorset Mammal took me almost 18 months of really hard work. But I owe it to certain people to do reviews that I want to put online for them. For example, the Scribe. I've done a unboxing, I've done a stripped down review where I showed the insides, I've done a medium kind of mid 8-month review, and then I've done a 1-year review. I will do a longer term review of these soon, and that's because I feel that I owe it to Scribe for supporting me during, especially when my channel got closed down. They were the first ones to reach out to me to offer support and to offer legal support. The guys there, one of them was like, look Jace, I've dealt with this type of thing before, if we can help we will. So amazing company, really good. These guys have got good morals, they're good lads, so I'm going to make sure that you guys get a long-term review. But there's another product that I had which I loved it to bits, and it is this. Now, a few of you will remember this was made for me, machined specifically for me, for my Swat saddle, my specialized power saddle. And if you don't know what it is, there you go, Garmin radar saddle mount for specialized Swat system. Now, I'm going to do a bit of a long-term review on that. Long-term review on this. What do I think? Bloody fantastic. It's amazing. It does its jobs well. It's machined extremely precisely. And, I've not had to worry about this at all. I know it's well made, and I know it's properly engineered. It's brilliant. So there's my review. Immense. This gentleman does make the products for people. I've said that I won't mention who he is and why, because he does have a customer base, and I've said, right, okay, if you wish to be mentioned below, you can add yourself below this one. But yeah, very, very good if you've got specialized Swat saddles. What's a specialized Swat saddle? Well, here's my glorious Arc Pro Elastin, and this is the Swat system here. So the specialized Swat system allows for products to be attached, things to be carried, etc., under your saddle or on your bike or in the bar ends. They've got loads of accessories. They're meant to be interchangeable, so every Swat saddle is meant to have the bolts at the same width and the same fitment. However, we'll get into that, because to come up with something like this, I basically got a call out saying, hi, has anyone got a 3D printer? I found some PDF files online, or I can't remember, printer files online for a potential Swat system. Now, they looked crap, they were flimsy, they were arse, and an engineer on the Dorset Mammal forum turned around and said, Chase, they look naff. But leave it with me. If you can get me some more measurements from your ends and shapes and designs, we come up with a concept for a design to eventually make out of a decent solid material. I was like, oh, fantastic. Thank you very much for offering your time in a proper engineering environment. We're not talking at home on a 3D printer. We're talking proper engineer working up to the finished CNC machine product out of alloy. So how did this go about then? Well, I had to get measurements, not of this saddle, but my power saddle, of the Swat bolts and the shapes, and do some drawings. And then the gentleman come up with a proof of concept. So proof of design. So will this fit? Yes, it'll fit. And this fitted my power spot on. So this was your basic, so this is a 3D printed model. So there's people out there selling things that are a bit of a better shape, because this is basic A. Let's make it so, is that the right height? Are we at the right sort of, because if you look, there's lots going on here that you don't realise. There's lots of different angles, and that's so this marries up to the power saddle So when it's on there, it's a perfect fit. So there can be, you're not just relying on the bolts to stop movement, you're relying on a really good fitting interface. So, you know, you start off with something like this. Then you think, well, you know, it's a bit square, it's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna look pretty, but it would do a job. So then you start moving along to what's very similar to my alloy one there. And you know, you start kind of playing around with the product to get, you know, these beautiful kind of, so, you know, so it's marrying up like Lego, look. So, you know, everything slots in. But we're not just talking about the angles here, we're talking about the flatness there, the angles here, everything. So these marry up absolutely spot on. And this was perfect for the power saddle. Now, Specialized, you'd think the Swat system is meant to be across all their saddle range. However, to make life difficult, yeah, the bolts are the same width, but Specialized have decided that where the rails mount should be different on all their saddles, and actually we're just going to leave people saddle room for adaptation of the Swat products. So instead of them making a system where a proper engineer can make things to fit absolutely perfect, I expect you'll find a lot of the Specialized stuff that was equipped here is quite probably a poor fit, or just a basic flat fit that does rely on 100% bolts to stop wobble and play, etc. So we went from that, and that fitted the power saddle perfectly, which then ended up with this. So this was then, you know, put in a proper alloy CNC machine, absolutely beautiful, fits the saddle absolutely spot on. I mean, there's no, if I push on that, so if I put the pressure on, there is no wiggle at all. You know, that marries up to that, the surfaces meet spot on. So, you know, you only need a low torque on the bolts really just to hold it up in there, and any movement, etc. This is just going to stay there. There's going to be no vibration going through your light unit. But I had to modify it because I went from a power saddle to a Specialized power, or the power part to the arc. And not only did Specialized change the angle for the rails and the way the rails are so close to the Swat, they also changed the top. So if you look, I had to do some in-house filing to get this then to fit into the rails, which, you know, if you're going to make a system that's designed to be across a range of products and to be an integrated system that you can take from one product to the next product, you know, why not make just that, just those where this mount is here for your Swat system identical across the board, so that any Swat product can go one to the other, rather than think, well, as long as the bolt holes are the same width, bargain. You know, really silly things. And you know, it's sad when you've got independent gentlemen who can engineer, and you know, you may not say there's a lot going on here, but actually, you know, to get these ledges and to get those angles absolutely perfect to the ledges and angles in here, and these sit spot on the actual saddle support. You know, a lot of time and work's gone into that, and it does work extremely well. But I had to modify at my end when I changed saddles, and I really didn't think I would need to. So what does that mean? Well, that means we then start evolving. So you start looking into potential different materials. So the evolution of the product. This is whilst it looks plastic, it's not. This is carbon, resin reinforced carbon. No, carbon reinforced resin. Which way around is it? Who knows? But it is basically that type of product. Now, this one is done to fit the power saddle, not the modifications like I've got. It's very light, and I must admit, the finish, the actual quality of the finish and the look of it, it does look pretty funky, really nice. Where 3D printers tend to give you a bit of a rougher finish that you need to work on, you know, this has come out and absolutely spot. And I'll tell you what, this is light. I bet this is really strong as well. I love this one, but I also love this one. So this is the one that's been adapted for the arc. to get a, you know, does this fit and does this match kind of the alterations, God, words are gone, that I made to this one. So yeah, I just thought it'd be really interesting to share with you guys how a product is, you know, how an engineer, a proper engineer, not me, a real engineer, kind of goes into a project where instead of just coming up with a cheap, easy, yeah, they're the width for the holes, we can make it, you know, easy to just bolt up on. It won't be flush, but it, you know, it'll look fine, but it won't be spot on. Is what you can buy online, versus someone who goes through the whole process of, you know, proof of concept. What does it need to do? How does it need to work? Exactly what angles does it need to come off the saddle at? What is the angle of the saddle this meant to be when it's fitted on the bike? And, you know, evolving it into a, you know, better looking shape where actually everything is now, you know, a little bit deeper into the channels. We know the angles are right now, we can come up deeper, but how deep do we go? All the way through to, you know, different materials, so carbons, you know, kind of traditional plastics, but I must admit I do love the orange on this. That's really funky and it stands out. So as a visual deterrent as well, it's, you know, if you're all kind of dark coloured bike and then you've got this nice little bit of bright orange behind you, bargain. And you know, then a strong long-term material, but I'm pretty sure, you know, this will last just as long as this, as would this. You know, and it's, to me, I just find it amazing that, you know, someone's taken the time to help me. They've taken the time to support me by sending the products, to listen to a client. I suppose let's put me as the client. He's listened to the client. I said, this is what I require. I want my radar up out the way of the wheels, because if you can get this further away from the wheel, you will get a better range. Obviously the range is also dependent on the power, because how radar works is, put it very simple, is if this is the radar and this is a car, you need enough power for the radar to send out, hit the car, and then come back. Radar can phase, so when you're not seeing something on radar, it's not because actually it's too far away. The chances are the radar's hit that car a long way away. However, its ability, once it's hit a product and that product's absorbed some of the energy of the radar, to then make it back to the receiver on this end. So you've got a sender, receiver, and it's got to. So if it gets to here, it might still make it back, but it'll be so weak the radar can't figure out if that vehicle is approaching or going away. Now these use a very simple Doppler radar, so these look at speed. So these look at objects only increasing the speed, not decreasing speed, and that's how they don't show you the cars moving away from you. So otherwise you'd have all those cars going that way alerting you on the screen. Well, they're decreasing, so this doesn't need to worry about that. That gap every time is decreasing in speed, it's going away. Simple radar system, works brilliantly on a bike for the application. If you haven't got it too close to your back wheel, if you see somebody with one of these and their back wheel is kind of coming over here and this is right down here, they ain't getting the full potential of this. They will be getting a bit, but a lot of that would be hitting the back wheel, not going anywhere. So it's got to be in the clear, which is why I kind of was like, oh, do you know what, I'd love to have this on the saddle. No one's done it yet. And then I found potentially one real crappy 3D maker who was doing them and charging the earth, which is when I put the call out, which is when a real engineer stepped in and took me through the process with him of design, you know, proof of concept, all the way through to the first. So this is the first one that he made. So, you know, a test. So I suppose I was a tester for his product. And then I suppose really from this point on, if he was going to stick with aluminium, you know, as people order off him, stuff like this could, you know, you could, with a machine, you could start machining sections out, making lightweight versions, making them look funky, anodizing them. But this was the first test product that come out and came to me. And then there's this one, which is the carbon one. Fantastic. So I really enjoyed that. And someone just started drilling, so I'm going to end it here. But yeah, guys, the gentleman has asked me not to mention him at the moment because he does have a client list. He does have people coming to him now for products. Doesn't mean you can't ask below, and if he sees you asking about the products below for the SWAT system, there's nothing to stop you guys asking him, or going on to my Love Cycling forum and asking him on there and putting a call out going, hi, whoever made these, could you PM me? Because yeah, now he's kind of going further on with it. You know, things have got to go kind of more away from their hi mate, I'll just help you, into a proper product. So yeah, I wouldn't want to step on his toes with that. So that's over to him. Now then, the Love Cycling forum. Lots of people asking to join it. If you don't go in and answer my questions and agree to the rules, I will decline you. Or the other admin will decline you. Guys, there's only two or three questions to answer and a yes, I agree to the rules. If you don't do that, you ain't getting on the site. It's as simple as that. You could be the queen for all I care, you ain't getting on the site. You have to abide by the rules, and you know, don't come, you know, this week, hi, you know, they answered all the questions, I looked at their profile, they looked legit, they got on there, first thing they'd done was try selling a product and linking some porn site. They didn't even last, I think, about 5 minutes on the forum. I just ditched them. You know, don't come to my forum thinking that you can advertise or sell rubbish and so, you know, advertise yourself socially like that. It ain't gonna happen. Sorry about that. Someone's obviously, sounds like they're going through a patio slab, to be honest, with a grinder. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. My SMP saddle that's on here, to turn you around, there you go, that's going to come off for a bit so that I can have a play around with some different mounts. And guys, again, it's going to be a while now, but the next time you see me will be to review the scribes. So look after yourselves, ride safe, be very safe. We're still, you know, we're coming out the other side of this COVID train, or this COVID tunnel. I hope everyone's, you know, doing well, and especially the guys who I know who have had really suffered with COVID and been very poorly. I hope all you guys are slowly getting better, and that long COVID doesn't, you know, doesn't impair you too much with your ability to eventually get back on a bike. So guys, be safe. Catch you all soon.